I've come to Sutton Park this morning to try and get some more photographs, and I'm looking for a little stream or something, a nice little composition, so I'm hoping that something along there. According to Google Maps I should be able to find something. Well, according to the map this is a little stream, but I'm hoping it'll broaden out to something a bit bigger. So ideally what I'm looking for is something, I don't know, about 6 foot wide, but lots of nice reflections of the trees in the water. I've stumbled across this nice little scene behind me, so I think I'll take a photograph and then head back to the studio to do some painting. I think this is the scene I'll do. So I'm back home now, so let me show you the photograph I've got on the screen. So this is the photo I'm working with. So before we start, let's have a quick look at the materials. My colours here, I got ultramarine, cadmium yellow, Payne's grey, alizarin crimson, raw sienna, burnt umber and light red. Got the large Ron Ranson 8 brush and 15 by 11 watercolour paper. So one quick last look at the photograph and let's get cracking. So to start off, I'm just going to wet the paper all over with clean water using the paintbrush. This will just soften everything off in the background, and then hopefully the sort of sharper stuff in the foreground will help create a sense of depth. So I'm going to start off, I'm just going to go into a bit of raw sienna, a bit of background colour really. A little bit of blue, very dull dye. Down there, a bit down there as well. That's all I'm going to do for that. So first we've got these background trees, so I'm going to take a bit of the same two colours, but less water. Less water, more paint, because the paper's already wet, so we need less water on the brush to compensate for the fact that the paper already has plenty of water on it. So just using the corner of the height brush, putting these background trees, I'm just going to work them across. I don't want to put them all in a straight line, so I'll make some slightly higher than the others. Gives a bit of burnt umber in there as well. Just give them a little bit high there, just a bit of variation. Just in front. And what I'll do, when they've dried a little bit more, I'll put some more in front of them, just a little bit stronger. And what I'm going to do is clean the brush. It's a bit of raw sienna, just a little bit of cadmium yellow, a bit of raw sienna. And just pop a few little, these are sort of horizontal strokes now. Ultramarine. There's such a burnt umber in there as well. You can see a few little tree trunks. I'm just going to scrape, just suggest a few trunks here and there. Try not to overdo it. And just carry on popping these little, this is sort of bits of grass and shrub and whatnot all around the landscape. And some bit strong, you know, so a bit of brown, bit of red. And these are those sort of slightly more colourful bits of grasses and whatnot lying around. And what I'm going to do, clean the brush again. switch back to the lighter colour, a bit of raw sienna, a bit of lemon yellow, not lemon yellow, cadmium yellow, raw sienna. What I'm doing is waiting now until that has dried. That's almost dried now, so back down there like that. I want to put something a little bit stronger in front of those, just try and create a bit of depth in those trees. So bit of yellow, bit of blue. And we got these ones slightly closer to us. So they get a little bit stronger. And the big one there. And slight down there. And just like little bushes and bits of grass and whatnot. Something else down there. What I'm doing, just flicking the corner of the brush just to help create, trying to get those sort of random brush effects. There's just little bushes living in front of these trees all the way across. That's what I'm going to do with that. Right, paper stretched a little bit. It might stretch a little bit more before I finish painting, but I'm just going to pull it flat now against this piece of plywood I'm using. It's just a 9mm piece of plywood I got from B&Q. Any hardware store will do. It's just something to fix the paper, so now I'll just lean it against the easel. So what I'm going to do is a bit more yellow. Might go for a quick sweep across there, something like that. A bit of ultramarine just to change it slightly. A bit of raw sienna, it's coming from this side. Now that water was about there, so I'm just waiting for this to dry and then I'll put that tree in. But for now, if we imagine, say the water stops about there, I'm just going to just line in that with a bit of mud. That's where our water will be. All these colourful grasses here and there. Back to the raw sienna, bit of lemon yellow, quick sweep in that. Ultramarine there just to vary. Raw sienna. So that's just the basic layout. So what I'm going to do now is give this a quick dry. Before I do that, there are a few of these, that's silver birches or whatever they are, that's sort of the ones with the light coloured, really light coloured trunks. Just grow in here and there, just popping those in with my fingernail. This is flat against this board, and then I'm just going to start popping in the main tree, and there's some smaller ones alongside, so I'm going to use the hake brush for this, get a nice chisel edge on the hake, and I'm going to wet this. So I'll wet that first, and then I can pull in reflections as I'm going along. So let's just wet this area again. Wet enough so I've got at least a couple of minutes before it dries. Now I'm going to start, just get a nice chisel edge, start putting these trees in. So I'm just getting a bit of brown, a bit of blue, dark colour. And then the tree sort of starts something like that. See, and then just pop these reflections in as I'm going along. Some thinner ones there. More thin ones. So what I'll do, I'll put the main trunks in and then use the rigger brush to do the smaller stuff. Put a pop in the little branches. Another one up there, pop the reflection in. And maybe something there. If I switch now to the little rigger brush and start popping on these. Pop the reflections in as you're doing it. A few more on this left hand side. Pop those in. Pop the reflections in. Put more water. And let's do these ones on the right. Pop the reflections down as I'm going along. Put more water on this little brush. So, you have a few little things going up there. And again, those reflections going. More reflections down there. So I'm just constantly referring to the photograph, just to, I don't want to get it absolutely bang on, just there or thereabouts. Don't copy the photographs, you know, religiously. It's just your own impression of the scene. That's all we're trying to do. Your impression in your own style. That's the ultimate aim, is to sort of, you know, create your own style. Just pop a few more. Fill off this one there. I've got a few. Just want to dry the brush. I'm just squeezing the water out of it. Take the rest out on the tea towel, and then I'm going to pop a few more of these tufts of grass in. I'm just going to get start off with a bit of raw sienna. Put those in down there. Want it to be a little bit darker, I think. Let's get a bit of burnt umber, a bit of light red. That's what that looks like. Bits of grasses here and there. I mean, there's grasses all over the place. Giving it a bit of ultramarine just to really darken it. Darken it now. See how strong that's going on now, because I've got less water, plenty of paint. The paper's dry, so I'm just hitting it like that. Stronger. And they obviously get smaller and smaller as they go away, just to help create that sense of recession and depth. A few dark ones down there. this looks a bit better, I think. They're not in the, I can't see any in the photograph, but I don't think it hurts. Just a few little rocks here and there. Let's have some down there. Always overdo it, put too many in. Remember, if you put too many in, just paint over some of them. I did think about having some sort of path, I think. So to me now, this looks like a path running across there, where these bits of blue are. That looks like a path running across there, so I'm just going to leave that as the path, I think. Sort of unintentionally put that path in there. I think we're nearly there. So I just paused it for a second then, just to see what needed doing, I think. Although it was a dull day, I'm just going to put some shadows in, just to try and bring it to life, I think. Always looks better with a bit of shadows. So that's just a bit of brown, bit of red, bit of blue, mix up a sort of shadowy colour. And then I'm going to pretend that the sun's over there. And then we've got some shadows, some big shadows being cast along there. Coming off there like that. And these ones there. Obviously get really thin along here. Sort of shadows just scattered about the place. Little dips and dabs here and there, just trying to make it look a bit more lifelike. So I think that was dry. Again, I'll just pause it for a sec just to go and stand at the back of the room, and I think I'm going to leave it at that now for now. I think so. All I'm going to do next, all that's left to do. I don't know if you could hear all the birds singing in the park, but I'm going to pop some of them in. There's a few birds there. And then last but not least, don't forget to put your name in the corner. Mine in there. Right, let's stick a mount on it and see what it looks like. So here's the completed painting. So let's quickly have a look at the photograph again. And in terms of the composition, I haven't changed anything at all really. I suppose the main thing I've done, there's not much variation in colour. So I've just tried to liven it up a bit with a few brighter colours here and there. The first thing I did was put in the distant trees up there on that high horizon line. So I've popped them in using the same colours as the sky, which was just raw sienna and burnt umber and raw sienna and ultramarine. And then when those distant ones were dry, I put these ones, the closer ones, in over. But they need to be dry really, just so that they stand out. And it helps to create that sort of sense of depth. See how these ones are a bit closer, pushing them ones really far back. You can also see I've just scraped in the odd trunk here and there using the fingernail. Look at all this land area, there's bits of grasses and things, and you think, well, where on earth do I start? I think the first thing to concentrate on is trying to get in variation in the colours and the tones as you work across. You know, start at the top and then just subtly change the colour here and there as you come down the page. And you can see all these sort of long, sort of different bands. You've got a band of grasses there, another one there, another one here in the foreground. So what I've done, once all this was dry, then put the grasses on with a really strong mix, then just to help them stand out against the other land. Then we've got our tree here with the reflections in the water below. So unlike we see the light coloured tree trunks, I've put them in dark, A, because it was easier, and B, it just helps them really stand out against the background. Also, it looks nice, sort of silhouetted, more sort of shadowy. If you imagine the sun's coming from here and you've got the shadows running across. One thing I have done, if you look at the trees there, the reflections, I've done them a bit too thick. These trunks are a bit thicker than what they're reflecting. That's it for today's painting. I hope you like that. Keep practicing. Any questions, please ask. Don't forget to subscribe and leave your comments down below. Happy painting, and I'll see you again soon.